Nothing says midlife crisis like a delayed flight and a $24 cocktail. But here I am in Logan Airport's first-class lounge, nursing my second bourbon and watching rain streak down floor-to-ceiling windows. My laptop screen glows with quarterly reports that suddenly seem meaningless. Daniel Murphy, senior finance executive, reduced to spending time between meetings that don't matter anymore. The lounge hums with quiet conversations and clinking glasses. Business travelers in expensive suits check phones, complain about connections, live their important lives. I used to be one of them, and now I feel like I'm watching through glass. Excuse me, is this seat taken? Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. I look up to see a woman who stops conversations. Tall, elegant, with auburn hair and green eyes that seem to see everything. She's holding a martini and wearing a smile that doesn't reach those eyes. All yours, I say, closing my laptop. Though I should warn you, I'm not great company tonight. She settles into the leather chair beside me with fluid grace. Neither am I. I'm Claire Sanders. She extends a manicured hand. Dan Murphy. Her grip is firm, confident. Rough day? You could say that. She takes a sip of her martini, studies me over the rim. Actually, I think we need to talk. About your wife. The bourbon turns to ice in my stomach. I'm sorry? Rachel Murphy, creative director at Ellison & Associates. Married to you for what, 12 years? Claire's voice is calm, matter-of-fact, like she's discussing the weather. I set down my glass carefully. Lady, I don't know what kind of game this is. Your wife has been sleeping with my husband for 6 months. She pulls out her phone, scrolls through photos. Marcus Ellison, her business partner. Ring any bells? The world tilts. I know Marcus, of course. Rachel's talked about him constantly since joining the agency 2 years ago. Brilliant creative mind, she said. Real visionary. They work late together, travel to client meetings, attend industry events. That's impossible, I hear myself say. Claire turns her phone toward me. The screen shows a text conversation. Rachel's number at the top. My wife's words in blue bubbles. Can't wait to feel you inside me again. Dan's working late. We have all night. The response, you're incredible. Best decision I ever made was hiring you. Keep scrolling, Claire says quietly. More messages. Explicit photos I recognize as my wife's body, hotel confirmations, dinner reservations, 6 months of evidence laid out in painful detail. Jesus Christ. My hands shake as I hand back the phone. There's more. Much more. Claire signals the bartender for another round. Your wife and my husband think they're so clever. Secret trips to New York, late-night client dinners, weekend strategy sessions at the Four Seasons. How did you find out? Marcus got careless. Started working late every night, coming home smelling like her perfume. When a man who's been predictable for 15 years suddenly develops a passion for overtime, you notice? She accepts a fresh martini from the bartender. I hired a private investigator, Eddie Franks, former Boston PD. Very thorough. I drain my bourbon, signal for another. Why are you telling me this? Why not just divorce him? Claire's smile turns predatory. Because I want them to suffer first. Both of them. And I think you might want the same thing. The bourbon arrives. I take a long sip, feeling it burn. What did you have in mind? Joint custody of revenge, she says. 2 betrayed spouses with nothing left to lose. We could do some real damage. I study her face, beautiful, intelligent, and clearly dangerous. You're serious? Dead serious. They humiliated us, Dan. Made us look like fools while they laughed behind our backs. Your wife told Marcus you're boring in bed. Said you haven't satisfied her in years. The words hit like physical blows. She said that? It's all in the texts. She calls you Danny the Dud when she's with him. Says you're too predictable, too safe. Marcus thinks it's hilarious. Rage builds in my chest, hot and consuming. Rachel and I have had our problems, sure, but I never imagined this level of betrayal. Never thought she was capable of such cruelty. What do you want to do? I ask. Claire leans forward, eyes bright with anticipation. First, we gather more evidence. Eddie's been documenting everything for weeks. Then we expose them, publicly, professionally, make sure everyone knows what they've done. That could backfire, hurt us in divorce proceedings. Not if we're smart about it. We don't break any laws, don't threaten anyone. We just make sure the truth comes out in the most humiliating way possible. Outside, lightning flashes across the sky. The storm is getting worse. Flights will be delayed for hours. I can't believe I'm considering this, I say. You're considering it because you're angry. Because they deserve it. Because sitting here and taking it like a good boy isn't who you really are. She's right. I am angry. Angrier than I've ever been. The careful, responsible Daniel Murphy, who pays bills on time and never makes waves, is screaming inside, demanding justice. Tell me about the evidence, I say. Claire's smile widens. She pulls out a tablet, opens a folder labeled Marcus and Rachel. Photos, text messages, hotel bills, credit card statements, 6 months of documented adultery. Eddie's been following them twice a week. They have a pattern. Tuesday nights at the Marriott downtown, Thursday dinners at Chez Laurent, then back to her apartment when you're traveling, weekend getaways to Martha's Vineyard, charged to the agency's corporate account. Corporate fraud, too? Among other things, Marcus has been using company funds for their affair. Dinners, hotels, gifts. Even bought her a bracelet worth $3,000, claimed it was a client entertainment expense. I scroll through the evidence, each item a fresh wound. Photos of them kissing in restaurant booths. Rachel wearing lingerie I've never seen. Text messages planning their next encounter while I was home alone, wondering why my wife seemed so distant. This is thorough, I admit. Eddie's the best. 20 years on the force. Now he specializes in cheating spouses. Says yours is one of the most brazen cases he's seen. What's the plan? Phase 1. Confront them together. Not privately, where they can spin stories. Publicly, where they can't deny what everyone sees. Phase 2. Expose the corporate fraud. Phase 3. Make sure everyone in their professional circle knows exactly what kind of people they are. And then? Then we watch them burn. The announcement comes over the intercom. All flights delayed indefinitely due to severe weather. Passengers groan, check phones, settle in for a long wait. Looks like we have time to plan, Claire says. This is insane, I say, but I'm already thinking about logistics. Rachel's schedule, Marcus's habits, the agency's upcoming events. Sanity is overrated. Besides, what's the alternative? Quiet divorces where they walk away with half our assets and keep their reputations intact? Where they get to play the victims of failed marriages? She has a point. The thought of Rachel painting herself as the wronged party, claiming our marriage was already over, makes my stomach turn. When do we start? Tomorrow night. They're having dinner at Chez Laurent at 8. Eddie confirmed the reservation. We show up, make our presence known, let them squirm. Just walk in and confront them? Nothing dramatic. We simply join them for dinner. 2 couples sharing a meal. Let them try to explain that to the restaurant full of people who know them. I can picture it. Rachel's face when she sees us together. Marcus trying to bluster his way through explanations. The whispers from other diners, many of whom move in their professional circles. You've really thought this through. I've had weeks to plan. Ever since Eddie showed me the first photos, I've been imagining this moment. My phone buzzes. Text from Rachel. Flight delayed, probably won't be home until late tomorrow. Miss you. I show Claire the message. She laughs, a sound like breaking glass. She's probably with Marcus right now, planning their next romantic getaway. Eddie says they're looking at a long weekend in Napa next month. On my dime, no doubt. And mine. We're funding our own humiliation. The anger builds, hot and righteous. These people have been playing us for fools, laughing at our expense, planning a future that destroys everything we've built. I'm in, I say. Claire raises her martini. To revenge served cold. To making them pay. We drink to our alliance. 2 strangers bound by betrayal and the promise of justice. Outside, the storm rages on, but inside the lounge, I feel oddly calm. For the first time in months, I have a purpose. The next evening finds me standing outside Chez Laurent at 7:45, wearing my best suit and a grim smile. The restaurant glows with warm light, expensive cars line the valet stand, and through tall windows I can see Boston's elite enjoying their overpriced meals. Claire appears beside me like a vision in black silk. Her dress is elegant, devastating, the kind that makes men forget their own names. Ready for this? As ready as someone can be for orchestrated humiliation. Think of it as theater. We're simply adding some unexpected drama to their romantic evening. The hostess recognizes Claire immediately. Mrs. Sanders, how lovely to see you. Will Mr. Sanders be joining you tonight? Actually, I'm dining with Mr. Murphy this evening. We're meeting another couple, the Ellison party. Of course, right this way. We follow her through the restaurant, past tables of well-dressed diners engaged in quiet conversation. Chez Laurent is the kind of place where Boston's power brokers make deals over $30 appetizers and $100 wine. There they are, at a corner table clearly chosen for privacy. Rachel looks stunning in red silk, her dark hair swept up to show the diamond earrings I bought her for our 10th anniversary. Marcus is leaning across the table, whispering something that makes her laugh. They're holding hands. The sight hits me like a physical blow. Not just the intimacy, but the casual way they display it. No fear of being caught, no guilt about their betrayal. They look like any couple in love, which I suppose they are. "Showtime," Claire murmurs. We approach the table. Rachel sees us first. Her face goes through a fascinating series of expressions: surprise, confusion, recognition, and finally pure terror. "Rachel, darling," Claire says brightly. "What a wonderful surprise." Marcus looks up, his face draining of color. "Claire, what are you doing here?" "Having dinner with my new friend Dan. You remember Dan, don't you? Rachel's husband?" I take the seat across from my wife, noting how she's pulled her hand back from Marcus's like she's been burned. "Hello, sweetheart. Fancy meeting you here? Dan, I can explain." "Explain what? That you're having dinner with your business partner? Nothing wrong with that." I signal the waiter. "We'll have the wine list, please." The waiter, clearly sensing tension, hurries away. The silence at our table is deafening while conversation continues normally around us. "This is awkward," Marcus says, attempting a laugh. "Maybe we should—" "Sit down, Marcus," Claire says pleasantly. "We're just getting started." "Claire, please," Rachel says. "This isn't what it looks like." "Really?" "Because it looks like my husband and your wife having a romantic dinner while we're both out of town, which is exactly what it is." I lean back in my chair, studying my wife's face. 12 years of marriage, and I'm seeing a stranger. "How long, Rachel?" "Dan, please, not here." "How long have you been sleeping with him?" The word hangs in the air like a curse. At the next table, an elderly woman's fork pauses halfway to her mouth. 6 months, Claire answers for her, since the Henderson account launch party. Very romantic, actually. They snuck away from the after-party, went to his hotel room. Rachel told him she'd never felt so alive. Marcus stands abruptly. "I'm not sitting here for this." "Yes, you are," I say quietly. "Because if you leave, I'll stand up and tell this entire restaurant exactly what kind of man you are. And trust me, Marcus, you don't want that kind of attention." He sits back down, jaw clenched. The waiter returns with wine menus. "Have we decided on beverages?" "Champagne," Claire says. "Your best bottle. We're celebrating." "Celebrating what?" Rachel asks weakly. "New beginnings, fresh starts, the end of lies." Claire's smile could cut glass. "Did you know your husband hired a private investigator, Rachel? Very thorough man. He has photos of you two at the Four Seasons last Tuesday. Quite artistic, really." Rachel's face goes white. "You're lying." I pull out my phone, open the photo gallery Eddie sent me. "Tuesday, March 15th. You told me you were at a client dinner with the Henderson team. But here you are, walking into the Four Seasons with Marcus at 9:30 p.m. I slide the phone across the table. The photo is clear, damning. Rachel and Marcus entering the hotel, her hand on his arm, both of them laughing. "Keep scrolling," Claire suggests. The next one shows them leaving together the following morning. Marcus tries to grab the phone. I pull it back smoothly. "Careful, Marcus. Wouldn't want to cause a scene." "You bastard," he hisses. "You can't prove anything." "Actually, we can prove everything. Hotel bills charged to your corporate card. Text messages, photos, even video footage from the hotel security cameras that Eddie obtained through his police contacts." This is a bluff, but Marcus doesn't know that. His face goes gray. "What do you want?" Rachel asks quietly. "Justice," Claire says. "Public acknowledgement of what you've done. Professional consequences for your fraud." "Fraud?" "Using company funds for your affair. Hotels, dinners, gifts. That $3,000 bracelet you bought Rachel last month, the one she told Dan was a bonus gift from a grateful client, that's embezzlement, Marcus." The champagne arrives. Claire raises her glass. "To truth, may it set us all free." None of us drink. "This is insane," Marcus says. "You can't destroy our careers over this." "Watch us," I say. "You destroyed our marriages. Seems fair." Rachel reaches across the table toward me. "Dan, please. I know this looks bad, but we can work through this. We can go to counseling, figure things out." "Work through what, Rachel? You telling him I'm boring in bed? Calling me Danny the Dud when you're planning your next hookup?" Her face crumbles. "You read our texts?" "Every single one. Very educational. I particularly enjoyed the one where you said Marcus makes you feel like a real woman for the first time in years." Tears start flowing down her cheeks, smearing her makeup. Around us, other diners are beginning to notice the drama at our table. "I'm leaving," Marcus announces, standing again. No, Claire says firmly. You're going to sit there and listen to what your wife has to say about your affair. All of it, every sordid detail. Claire, don't do this here, he pleads. Where should I do it, Marcus? At home, where you can lie and gaslight me like you have been for months? At your office, where your employees can hear what their boss really does during business trips? She pulls out her own phone, opens a voice recording app. This is Claire Sanders. It's March 22nd, 8:15 p.m. I'm sitting in Chez Laurent with my husband, Marcus Sanders, his business partner, Rachel Murphy, and her husband, Daniel Murphy. I'd like Marcus to explain to everyone why he's been using company funds to pay for hotel rooms where he has intimacy with his employee. The recording app shows a red dot, indicating it's running. Several nearby tables have gone quiet, diners straining to hear our conversation. Turn that off, Marcus hisses. Answer the question first. I'm not saying anything. Then I'll say it for you. Marcus Sanders, CEO of Ellison & Associates, has been having an affair with Rachel Murphy, his creative director, for 6 months. He's used corporate funds to pay for their hotels, dinners, and gifts. He's committed adultery, embezzlement, and fraud. Her voice carries clearly through the restaurant. Conversations stop. Waiters pause in their service. Every eye in the place is on our table. Jesus Christ, Claire, Marcus whispers. I'm not done. He's also told Rachel that I'm frigid, that our marriage has been dead for years, that he's planning to leave me as soon as the divorce won't cost him too much money. Rachel looks stricken. He said your marriage was over, that you barely spoke anymore. We spoke every day until 6 months ago, when he started working late every night. Funny how that coincides with when you joined the company. I lean forward, my voice calm and deadly quiet. Here's what's going to happen. You're both going to resign from Ellison & Associates tomorrow morning. You're going to issue public apologies for misusing company funds, and you're going to disappear from our lives forever. You can't make us do anything, Marcus says, but his voice lacks conviction. Actually, we can. Because if you don't, this recording goes to every client you have, every employee at your agency, every professional contact in your phones. We'll make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of people you are. The waiter approaches hesitantly. Is everything all right here? Perfect, Claire says brightly. Could we get the check, please? I think we're finished here. As he hurries away, Rachel grabs my hand. Dan, please, I love you. This was a mistake, a stupid, terrible mistake. We can fix this. I look down at her hand on mine, the same hand that's been touching another man, the same hand that wore my wedding ring while she betrayed everything we built together. No, Rachel, we can't. I stand, pulling out my wallet. Dinner's on me. Consider it a going-away present. Claire stands as well, smoothing her dress. This has been lovely. We should do it again sometime. Oh wait, we can't, because you'll be unemployed and disgraced. We walk away, leaving them sitting at the table in stunned silence. Behind us, I can hear the whispers starting, the gossip spreading like wildfire through Boston's tight-knit professional community. Outside, Claire takes my arm. That went well. Phase 1 complete? With flying colors. By tomorrow morning, half the city will know what happened. By tomorrow night, the other half will too. What's Phase 2? We let them stew for a few days, see if they actually resign. If not, we escalate. How? Claire's smile is beautiful and terrible. You'll see. 3 days pass without resignations. Rachel has been calling constantly, leaving voicemails that range from tearful apologies to angry accusations. Marcus, according to Claire's sources, is telling people we're having nervous breakdowns, that our accusations are the desperate fantasies of bitter spouses. Big mistake. I'm sitting in my home office when Claire calls. Ready for Phase 2? What did you have in mind? Meet me at Eddie's office in an hour. Bring your laptop and your sense of humor. We're going public. Eddie Franks operates out of a small office above a deli in South Boston. The man himself is exactly what you'd expect from an ex-cop turned private investigator. Thick build, graying hair, and eyes that miss nothing. Danny boy, he says, shaking my hand. Ready to raise some hell? More than ready. Claire is already there, looking elegant even in Eddie's cluttered office. Show him what you've got, Eddie. Eddie opens a laptop, clicks through folders. 6 months of surveillance, photos, videos, financial records, phone logs. Your wife and her boyfriend weren't exactly careful. The screen fills with images. Rachel and Marcus holding hands outside the Four Seasons, kissing in his car, entering her apartment building together. Each photo is time-stamped, dated, thoroughly documented. This is just the visual evidence, Eddie continues. I also have credit card records showing charges for hotels, restaurants, jewelry. all on the company card, all during times when they claimed to be in business meetings. How did you get corporate records? I ask. Marcus's assistant. Sweet girl named Jennifer. Thinks her boss walks on water, had no idea what he was really doing. When I told her I was investigating expense account fraud, she was happy to help. Claire leans forward. Tell him about the emails. Right. Jennifer also gave me access to Marcus's email account. Turns out your wife and her boyfriend weren't just using company funds for their affair. They were planning to start their own agency, steal Ellison's biggest clients, leave Marcus's partners holding the bag. What? Eddie shows me email exchanges between Rachel and Marcus. Plans to approach Henderson Industries, Coastal Manufacturing, 3 other major accounts. Strategies for convincing clients to follow them to a new agency. Financial projections based on stolen client lists. This is corporate espionage, I say. Gets better. They were planning to announce their new venture next month, right after Marcus's partners signed a major lease expansion. Would have left Ellison and Associates bankrupt within 6 months. The scope of their betrayal is staggering. Not just adultery, but theft, fraud, conspiracy. They weren't just destroying our marriages. They were planning to destroy Marcus's business partners, too. What's the plan? I ask. Claire smiles. We're going to beat them at their own game. Eddie, show him the website. Eddie opens a browser, navigates to a professional-looking site called Boston Business Ethics. Clean design, corporate color scheme, official-sounding mission statement about transparency and local business practices. I built this yesterday, Claire says. Completely legal, fully documented, nothing libelous. Just facts about local business practices that the public should know about. The homepage features a prominent article titled Ellison and Associates, a case study in corporate fraud. Below that, photos of Rachel and Marcus, copies of expense reports, email evidence of their planned client theft. This goes live in 1 hour, Claire says. I've already sent the link to every major business reporter in Boston, plus the client companies they were planning to steal. Jesus. But wait, there's more, Eddie says, clearly enjoying himself. Tell him about the social media campaign. Claire pulls out her phone. I've created accounts on every platform. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all using real names, real evidence, nothing fake or misleading, just public information presented in an easy-to-understand format. She shows me draft posts, professional headshots of Rachel and Marcus with captions detailing their fraud, screenshots of emails discussing client theft, photos of them entering hotels during supposed business meetings. The beauty is that it's all true, she says. They can't sue us for libel because every word is documented fact. What about revenge porn laws? Some of those photos are pretty intimate. Nothing explicit, Eddie assures me. Just them together in public places, holding hands, kissing, the kind of photos any paparazzi could take. This will destroy them. That's the idea, Claire says. They wanted to play dirty, steal clients, ruin businesses. Now they get to see how it feels. I think about Rachel, probably at home right now, believing she can smooth this over with tears and apologies. About Marcus, telling his partners that his wife is just being vindictive, neither of them understanding what's coming. Do it, I say. Claire hits the publish button. The website goes live. Within minutes, she's posting links across social media platforms. The story spreads like wildfire through Boston's interconnected business community. My phone starts ringing immediately. Rachel's number. Don't answer, Claire says. Let her stew. But I want to hear her voice when she realizes what we've done. I pick up. Dan, what the hell is this? There's a website about Marcus and me with our photos, our private emails. Not so private, apparently. You can't do this. This is harassment. It's stalking. It's justice, Rachel. You and Marcus thought you were so clever, planning your little business coup while screwing each other on company time. How's it feel to have your plans exposed? Take it down. Right now. Can't do that. I don't own the website. That would be Claire Sanders, your boyfriend's wife. You remember her, right? The woman you've been helping him cheat on? This is insane. You're destroying innocent people. Innocent? I laugh, and it sounds harsh even to me. Rachel, you've been stealing from your company, planning to destroy your partner's business, and sleeping with your boss for 6 months. The only innocent people here are the ones you've been lying to. She's crying now. Dan, please. I know I made mistakes, but this will ruin everything. My career, my reputation. Should have thought of that before you decided to become a corporate criminal. I hang up, feeling oddly satisfied. For months, I've been the victim, the fool who didn't see what was happening in his own marriage. Now I'm taking control. Feel good? Claire asks. Better than I have in months. Eddie's computer chimes with notifications. Website's getting traffic, lots of traffic. The analytics show hundreds of visitors in the first hour, with shares and comments multiplying rapidly. Boston's business community is small, incestuous, and loves a good scandal. Henderson Industries just called, Claire says, checking her phone. They want to schedule a meeting with Marcus tomorrow to discuss the emails about stealing their account. That was fast. Corporate executives don't like being played. They especially don't like finding out their trusted partners were planning to stab them in the back. My phone buzzes with a text from Rachel. Please call me. We need to talk. I show it to Claire. What do you think? I think she's panicking. Good. Should I meet with her? Not yet. Let her suffer a little longer. Besides, we're not done with phase 2 yet. There's more? Eddie grins. Tell him about the press conference. Press conference? Claire's smile is radiant. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., steps of City Hall, I'm announcing the formation of a new business ethics watchdog group with Ellison and Associates as our first case study. I've already confirmed attendance from Channel 4, Channel 7, and the Globe Business Reporter. You're going on television? We're going on television. This affects both of us, Dan. We should present a united front. The idea terrifies and exhilarates me. Public vindication, but also public exposure. No going back once we cross this line. What do we say? The truth. That we're concerned citizens who discovered corporate fraud and felt obligated to expose it. That we believe the public has a right to know when local businesses are stealing from clients and misusing funds. And if they ask about the personal aspect, we acknowledge that we're married to the perpetrators, but emphasize that our civic duty superseded our personal feelings. We're whistleblowers, not vengeful spouses. It's brilliant, really. Frame the revenge as public service. Make ourselves the heroes instead of the victims. I'm in, I say. Good. Eddie will coach us on media relations tonight. By tomorrow evening, Marcus and Rachel will be the most infamous business couple in Boston. As if on cue, my phone rings again. This time it's Marcus. Answer it, Claire says. Put it on speaker. Hello, Marcus. Dan, we need to talk. This has gone too far. Has it? I don't think it's gone nearly far enough. You're destroying innocent people. My business partners had nothing to do with this. Then they'll be fine. Honest businesses have nothing to fear from transparency. This is about revenge, not justice. Maybe. But the evidence is real, Marcus. You did steal company funds. You did plan to steal clients. You did betray your partners and your wife. We're just making sure people know about it. I'll sue you for everything you have. On what grounds? Everything we've published is true. You want to sue us for telling the truth? Claire takes the phone. Hello, darling. How's your day going? Claire, please. We can work this out privately. There's no need to involve the media. There's every need. You've been stealing from your own company, planning to destroy your partners. The public deserves to know what kind of man they're doing business with. I'll resign, today, right now. Just take down the website. Too late for that. Should have thought about consequences before you decided to become a criminal. She hangs up. We sit in silence for a moment, absorbing what we've accomplished. Think they'll actually resign now? I ask. Doesn't matter, Eddie says. After tomorrow's press conference, they won't have jobs to resign from. What happens after that? Claire's eyes gleam with anticipation. Phase 3, the final act, the moment they'll never recover from. Which is? You'll see. But first, we have a press conference to prepare for. The press conference exceeds our wildest expectations. Channel 4 leads with our story, Channel 7 runs it as their top business segment, and the Globe publishes a front-page article titled Local Business Couple Exposed in Fraud Scandal. Claire and I come across as concerned citizens, reluctant whistleblowers who discovered wrongdoing and felt compelled to act. The reporters eat it up, especially when we provide additional evidence Eddie uncovered, forged expense reports, falsified client billings, even a secret bank account Marcus opened to funnel stolen funds. By noon, Ellison and Associates' phones are ringing off the hook. Clients demanding explanations, partners calling emergency meetings, employees panicking about their jobs. Marcus's business partners issue a statement suspending him pending a full investigation. Rachel gets fired that afternoon. How do you feel? Claire asks as we watch the evening news coverage from my living room. Like I'm dreaming. Yesterday I was the betrayed husband nobody knew about. Today I'm a crusader for business ethics. Fame is intoxicating, isn't it? My phone has been buzzing all day with calls from reporters, friends, even old college buddies who saw the news. For the first time in years, I feel important, relevant, powerful. What's phase 3? I ask. Patience. Let's see how they respond to this first. The response comes quickly. Rachel shows up at my door at 8 p.m., looking haggard and desperate. Her makeup is smeared, her hair disheveled, her expensive clothes wrinkled like she's been sleeping in them. "We need to talk," she says. I don't think that's a good idea. "Please, Dan, 5 minutes." Against my better judgment, I let her in. She collapses onto our couch, the same couch where we used to watch movies together, back when we were happy. "You've destroyed everything," she says quietly. "I've exposed the truth. There's a difference. My career is over. No agency in Boston will hire me after this. Marcus's partners are threatening to sue me personally for the stolen funds. Maybe you should have thought about that before you decided to become a criminal." She looks up at me with red-rimmed eyes. "I never meant for it to go this far. It started as just attraction, physical chemistry. I thought I could keep it separate from everything else." "But you couldn't." "No. Marcus he's exciting, Dan. He makes me feel alive in ways I'd forgotten were possible. When I'm with him, I feel like the woman I was before marriage and mortgages and routine made me boring." "So this is my fault? For being stable and dependable?" "No, it's my fault for not being honest about what I needed. But Dan, what you've done, this public humiliation, destroying our careers, it's cruel." I sit across from her, studying the woman I once loved. "You called me Danny the Dud, Rachel. You told your lover that I was boring in bed, that I'd never satisfied you. You planned to steal millions of dollars from your company and leave innocent people bankrupt. And you think I'm the cruel one?" I was angry when I said those things, frustrated with our marriage, with feeling trapped. I didn't mean them. "Which part didn't you mean? The insults or the theft?" She's quiet for a long moment. "Both. All of it. I've made terrible mistakes, Dan. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling, work through our problems, rebuild what we had." "What we had was a lie. You've been lying to me for months, planning to destroy people's lives, stealing money. I don't even know who you are anymore." "I'm your wife, the woman you married, the woman who loves you." "No, you're not. The woman I married wouldn't have done any of this." She reaches for my hand. "Dan, please. I know you're angry, but this vendetta has to stop. Claire is using you, manipulating your pain to get revenge on Marcus. Can't you see that? Claire and I are partners in this. Claire is a sociopath who's turned you into her weapon. The woman I saw at that press conference, the way she smiled when reporters asked about our affair, she's enjoying this too much." The comment bothers me more than I want to admit. Claire has seemed to relish every moment of our campaign, from the restaurant confrontation to the media blitz. But then again, why shouldn't she? We're finally getting justice. "I want you to leave," I say. "Dan, now, before I call the police and have you removed for trespassing." She stands slowly, defeated. "This isn't over. I'll find a way to fix what I've broken." "The only thing you can fix is yourself. Stay away from me, Rachel. Stay away from this house. We're done." After she leaves, I pour myself a drink and try to process the conversation. For a moment, seeing her broken and desperate, I felt something like sympathy. But then I remember the texts, the lies, the casual cruelty of her betrayal. She made her choices. Now she gets to live with the consequences. Claire calls an hour later. "I heard Rachel paid you a visit." "How did you know?" "Eddie's been watching your house, making sure Marcus doesn't try anything stupid." "She wants me to stop the campaign." "Of course she does. How did you respond?" "I told her we're done. With the marriage, with everything." "Good, because phase 3 starts tomorrow, and I need you completely committed." "What happens tomorrow?" "The Beacon Hill Business Association's monthly dinner. 500 of Boston's most influential executives all gathered in one room. Marcus and Rachel will be there, trying to salvage their reputations." "And we'll be there too?" "Oh yes, as guests of honor. The association president wants to present us with an award for business ethics advocacy." I laugh despite myself. "Seriously?" "Completely serious. We've become celebrities, Dan. Heroes of corporate transparency. Tomorrow night, we get to enjoy our triumph in front of everyone who matters. Including Rachel and Marcus. Especially Rachel and Marcus. I want them to see us being celebrated while they're being shunned. I want them to understand exactly what they've lost. What if they don't show up? They'll show up. Marcus's partners are forcing him to attend, to try to repair the company's image, and Rachel will be there because she's desperate to network, to find someone willing to hire her despite the scandal. This feels like overkill. Dan, these people humiliated us for months. They laughed at us, called us boring, planned to steal millions of dollars and destroy innocent businesses. There's no such thing as overkill when it comes to people like that. She's right, of course. They deserve everything that's coming to them. What should I wear to accept an ethics award? I ask. Your best suit and your biggest smile. Tomorrow night we get to watch our enemies squirm while Boston's elite applaud our courage. I can't wait. Neither can I. This is going to be beautiful, Dan. Absolutely beautiful. After we hang up, I sit in my empty house, thinking about how much has changed in just a week. 7 days ago, I was the oblivious husband, the fool who didn't know his wife was cheating. Now I'm a public figure, a crusader for justice, a man who turned personal betrayal into a righteous cause. It feels good. Better than good. It feels like power. Tomorrow night, Rachel and Marcus will see what real power looks like. They'll see what happens when you underestimate the people you've wronged. They'll see that sometimes the boring, predictable husband gets the last laugh. The Beacon Hill Business Association dinner is Boston's most exclusive networking event, held monthly in the grand ballroom of the Fairmont Copley Plaza. Tonight, 500 of the city's most powerful executives are gathered to honor achievement, make deals, and enjoy the kind of dinner that costs more than most people's mortgage payments. Claire and I arrive fashionably late, making an entrance that draws every eye in the room. She's stunning in emerald silk that matches her eyes, while I've chosen my most expensive suit, the one Rachel always said made me look distinguished. Mr. Murphy! Mrs. Sanders! The association president, Harold Whitman, rushes over with a photographer in tow. Our guests of honor, we're so excited to present tonight's awards. The pleasure is ours, Claire says gracefully. We're honored to be here. Your courage in exposing corporate fraud has been an inspiration to the entire business community, Whitman gushes. Standing up to powerful people, risking personal consequences to do what's right. That's true leadership. I spot Rachel and Marcus across the room, standing awkwardly near the bar. They look like pariahs at their own funeral, surrounded by empty space as other guests give them a wide berth. Marcus is sweating despite the air conditioning, while Rachel keeps checking her phone nervously. Shall we mingle? Claire suggests, her smile predatory. We work the room like seasoned politicians, accepting congratulations and praise from executives who want to be associated with our success. Everyone has an opinion about the scandal, and everyone wants to shake hands with the people who exposed it. Brilliant work, says Janet Morrison from Coastal Manufacturing. We were about to sign a new contract with Ellison when your investigation came out. Saved us from working with thieves. Just doing our civic duty, I reply modestly. The way you handled the media was masterful, adds Robert Chen from Henderson Industries. Professional, factual, no emotional grandstanding. That's how you build credibility. Claire accepts the praise gracefully while keeping one eye on our targets. Rachel has been trying to approach various executives, only to be politely but firmly rebuffed. Marcus isn't even trying anymore. He's just standing alone, drinking heavily. Ladies and gentlemen, Whitman announces from the podium, if we could all take our seats, we'll begin tonight's award presentations. The ballroom fills with the sound of chairs scraping and conversations winding down. Claire and I are seated at the head table, positions of honor that put us in full view of everyone present. Our first award tonight goes to 2 individuals who exemplify the highest standards of business ethics and personal courage. Whitman begins. When Daniel Murphy and Claire Sanders discovered evidence of corporate fraud, they could have chosen to handle it quietly, privately. Instead, they chose to expose the truth, regardless of personal cost. Applause fills the room. I can see Rachel's face from here, pale and stricken as she watches her husband being celebrated for destroying her career. Their investigation revealed not just adultery, but embezzlement, client fraud, and conspiracy to commit corporate theft. Thanks to their courage, several major companies avoided significant financial losses, and the perpetrators have faced appropriate consequences. More applause. Marcus is staring at his plate, unable to meet anyone's eyes. Daniel Murphy and Claire Sanders, please come forward to accept the Business Ethics Advocacy Award. We stand to thunderous applause. As we walk to the podium, I catch Rachel's eye. She looks like she's about to cry. Good. Whitman hands us matching crystal plaques. Would you like to say a few words? Claire steps to the microphone first. Thank you for this honor. When we discovered evidence of wrongdoing, we faced a difficult choice. We could protect our personal relationships, or we could protect the business community that trusted these individuals. We chose truth over comfort, justice over convenience. She pauses, letting her words sink in. Corporate fraud isn't a victimless crime. When executives steal from their companies, when they lie to clients, when they abuse positions of trust, they damage everyone who believes in honest business practices. We hope our actions send a message that such behavior will not be tolerated. The applause is deafening. Claire steps aside, gesturing for me to speak. 6 months ago, I thought I knew the people closest to me, I begin. I trusted them with my heart, my home, my future. When I discovered that trust was misplaced, I had to decide what kind of man I wanted to be. The kind who stays silent to avoid embarrassment, or the kind who stands up for what's right. I look directly at Rachel as I continue. Sometimes doing the right thing means accepting painful truths about people we love. It means choosing principle over personal comfort, but that's what integrity demands. The standing ovation lasts nearly 2 minutes. As we return to our seats, I feel a rush of pure triumph. This is vindication on the highest level, public validation that we were right to expose them. During dinner, a steady stream of executives stops by our table to offer congratulations and business cards. Claire handles it all with grace, while I bask in the attention I've never received before. Excuse me. I look up to see Rachel standing beside our table, her face carefully composed but her hands shaking slightly. Rachel, Claire says pleasantly, how lovely that you decided to attend. I wanted to congratulate you both on your awards, Rachel says, her voice steady despite the obvious effort it's costing her. Very well deserved. Thank you, I reply. That's gracious of you. I also wanted to apologize, publicly, in front of everyone here. She raises her voice slightly, drawing attention from nearby tables. I made terrible mistakes that hurt innocent people. I betrayed my husband's trust, violated my professional ethics, and damaged this community's faith in business integrity. The conversations around us stop as people strain to hear. I accept full responsibility for my actions, Rachel continues. I don't expect forgiveness, but I want everyone to know that Daniel and Claire Sanders showed tremendous courage in exposing the truth. They chose justice over personal loyalty, and this community is better for it. It's a masterful performance, I have to admit. Dignified, remorseful, designed to salvage what little reputation she has left. Thank you for saying that, Claire responds. It takes courage to admit mistakes so publicly. It's the least I can do. Rachel's eyes meet mine. I hope someday you can forgive me, Dan. Not for what I did to our marriage, but for what I did to your trust in people. She walks away before I can respond, leaving me strangely unsettled. The apology seemed genuine, and the grace with which she handled her humiliation was impressive. Don't let her get to you, Claire murmurs. She's just trying to manipulate the situation, make herself look sympathetic. Maybe, but it took guts to do that. It took calculation. She's trying to rebuild her reputation by associating herself with our success. Claire is probably right. Rachel has always been good at reading rooms, understanding what people want to hear. This public apology is just another performance, but something about it felt real. The dinner continues with more networking, more congratulations, more validation of our crusade. By the time we leave, I'm riding high on success and recognition. That was perfect, Claire says as we wait for the valet. Did you see Marcus? He looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. Rachel handled it well, though. Too well. She's planning something, Dan. That apology was too polished, too strategic. She's not done fighting. What can she do? Her career is over. Her reputation is destroyed. Desperate people are dangerous people. We need to stay vigilant. The valet brings Claire's car, a sleek BMW that suits her perfectly. Want to come back to my place? We should celebrate properly. The invitation hangs in the air between us, loaded with possibility. Claire is beautiful, intelligent, and we've been through an intense experience together. It would be natural, almost inevitable. But something holds me back. Rain check, I say. I need some time to process everything that's happened. She looks disappointed but nods. Of course, this has been overwhelming for both of us. Thank you for tonight. For everything. I couldn't have done this without you. We make a good team, don't we? The best. She drives away, leaving me alone with my thoughts. The evening was a triumph, complete vindication of our campaign against Rachel and Marcus. So why do I feel unsettled? Maybe it's Rachel's apology, the dignity she showed in defeat. Maybe it's the nagging feeling that we've gone too far, become too invested in revenge to see clearly. Or maybe it's just the aftermath of victory, the inevitable letdown that follows any climactic moment. Whatever it is, I push it aside as I drive home. Rachel and Marcus got what they deserved. Justice has been served. The story should end here, with the good guys triumphant and the bad guys properly punished. But something tells me it's not over yet. 3 weeks after the awards dinner, I'm starting to believe we've actually won. Rachel has moved out of state, taking a job with a small agency in Portland that apparently didn't Google her name. Marcus has been officially terminated from Ellison and Associates and is facing multiple lawsuits from clients and business partners. Claire and I have become minor celebrities in Boston's business community. We're invited to speak at conferences, quoted in articles about corporate ethics, treated as experts on fraud detection. It's intoxicating, this newfound respect and influence, which is why I'm completely unprepared for what happens next. I'm in my office, reviewing quarterly reports, when my assistant buzzes in. "Mr. Murphy, there's a Detective Rodriguez here to see you, says it's about the Ellison case." My blood turns to ice. "Send him in." Detective Rodriguez is a small, neat man with intelligent eyes and a tired expression. He settles into the chair across from my desk and pulls out a notepad. "Mr. Murphy, I'm investigating allegations of harassment, stalking, and criminal conspiracy related to your campaign against Marcus Ellison and Rachel Murphy." "I'm sorry, what?" "They've filed formal complaints alleging that you and Claire Sanders engaged in systematic harassment, invaded their privacy, and conspired to destroy their careers through illegal means." "Everything we did was legal. We published factual information about documented fraud." "The methods used to obtain that information are in question: breaking into corporate email accounts, accessing private financial records, surveillance without consent. These are serious crimes, Mr. Murphy." My mouth goes dry. "We used a licensed private investigator. Everything was obtained legally." "Eddie Franks is also under investigation. Turns out his license was suspended 6 months ago for illegal surveillance activities. Any evidence he gathered is inadmissible and potentially criminal." The room spins. Eddie's license was suspended? How did we not know this? "I need to call my lawyer," I say. "That's your right, but I wanted to give you a chance to explain your side before this gets more complicated." "There's nothing to explain. We exposed corporate fraud. We're the victims here." Rodriguez flips through his notepad. "According to the complaints, you and Mrs. Sanders engaged in a coordinated campaign of harassment lasting several weeks. Public humiliation, professional sabotage, invasion of privacy. The victims claim they've received death threats from people who saw your media appearances." "We never encouraged violence." "But you did encourage public outrage. Your website and social media posts led to widespread harassment of the targets. They've had to change phone numbers, move residences, hire security. They're criminals. They stole money. That's for the courts to decide. Vigilante justice is still illegal, Mr. Murphy." After Rodriguez leaves, I sit in my office trying to process what just happened. Everything we did seemed justified, righteous even. We were exposing wrongdoing, seeking justice for betrayal and fraud, but now they're saying we're the criminals. I call Claire immediately. "We have a problem." "I know. Detective Martinez just left my office. Same questions, same accusations." "Eddie's license was suspended?" "Apparently. He didn't think it was relevant since he was still conducting legitimate investigations." "Jesus Christ, Claire. This could destroy us." "Only if we let it. We need to meet, plan our response." "What response? They have us dead to rights. We used illegally obtained evidence to destroy their careers." "We exposed real crimes, Dan. The fraud was real, the theft was real, the methods don't change the facts." But even as she says it, I can hear doubt in her voice. We've gone from heroes to potential criminals in a single conversation. "Meet me at the Marriott bar in an hour," Claire says. "We need to figure this out." The Marriott bar is nearly empty at 3 in the afternoon, just a few business travelers nursing drinks and checking phones. Claire is already there when I arrive, looking less composed than I've ever seen her. "How bad is this?" I ask, sliding into the booth across from her. "Bad. My lawyer says if they can prove conspiracy and harassment, we're looking at serious jail time." "For exposing fraud?" "For the methods we used. Illegal surveillance, stolen emails, coordinated harassment campaigns. The fraud charges against Marcus and Rachel have been dropped due to tainted evidence." The irony is crushing. In our zeal to expose their crimes, we committed worse ones ourselves. What do? We fight. We hire the best lawyers money can buy, and we fight every charge. With what money? Legal fees for something like this could bankrupt us both. Claire's composure finally cracks. "I don't know, Dan. I thought we were doing the right thing. I thought justice mattered more than technicalities. Maybe we got carried away. Maybe revenge isn't the same thing as justice." "Don't you dare." Her eyes flash with anger. "Don't you dare start feeling sorry for them. They destroyed our marriages, stole money, planned to ruin innocent people. Everything we did was justified. Was it? Look where we are now. They're free and we're facing criminal charges. Because the system protects people like them. Rich, connected, able to hire lawyers who find technicalities to escape consequences. I want to believe her, but doubt is creeping in. Over the past month, I've enjoyed the attention, the validation, the sense of power that came from our campaign. Maybe I enjoyed it too much. There's something else, Claire says quietly. Something I didn't tell you before. What? The reason I knew about Rachel and Marcus's affair. It wasn't just suspicion or investigation. My stomach drops. What are you saying? I've been having an affair too, with Rachel's brother Michael, for 8 months. The words hit like a physical blow. You what? I was lonely, Dan. Marcus had been distant for over a year, working late, traveling constantly. Michael was there, attentive, interested. It just happened. So this whole thing, our partnership, the revenge campaign, was real. My feelings about Marcus's betrayal were real, even though I was betraying him too, but I wanted him to suffer the way I was suffering. Jesus Christ, Claire. You used me. We used each other. You wanted revenge as much as I did. She's right. But it doesn't make the betrayal sting less. Everything I thought I knew about our alliance, our shared victimhood, was built on lies. Does Michael know about our campaign? He knows everything. He's been helping, actually. Some of the evidence Eddie gathered came from Michael's connections. So Rachel's own brother helped destroy her career? Family loyalty only goes so far when someone's a criminal. I stand up, needing distance from her, from this conversation, from the mess we've created. I have to go. Dan, wait. We're in this together. We need to stick together. No, we don't. We need to face the consequences of what we've done. What are you saying? I'm saying maybe it's time to stop fighting and start accepting responsibility. I leave her sitting in the bar, probably planning her next move, her next manipulation. For the first time since this started, I feel completely alone. At home, I pour myself a drink and try to make sense of everything that's happened. 6 months ago, I was a boring, predictable husband with a stable marriage and a quiet life. Now I'm facing criminal charges, my marriage is destroyed, and I've become the kind of person who ruins lives for revenge. The phone rings. Rachel's number. I almost don't answer, but curiosity wins. Hello, Dan. Rachel, I heard about the charges. I wanted to call and say I'm sorry it came to this. Are you sorry? Yes, I never wanted you to face criminal prosecution. I just wanted the harassment to stop. So you did file the complaints? Marcus did. I tried to talk him out of it, but he was terrified. The death threats, the constant media attention, people following him on the street. He snapped. We never threatened him. But you created the environment where others did. Your website, your press conferences, they painted us as monsters. Some people took that as permission to act. She's right, though I don't want to admit it. We were so focused on exposing them that we never considered the broader consequences. What happens now? I ask. I don't know. Marcus wants to pursue this to the full extent of the law. He feels like his life has been destroyed. His life? What about mine? What about what you did to our marriage? I know. I destroyed everything good between us, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. But Dan, what you and Claire did, it went so far beyond anything we deserved. Did it? You stole money, planned to destroy businesses, betrayed everyone who trusted you. And we would have faced consequences for that. Legal consequences, professional consequences, but you turned it into a public spectacle, a campaign of humiliation that will follow us forever. The conversation continues for another 20 minutes, both of us trying to understand how we got here, how betrayal and revenge spiraled so far out of control. When I hang up, I know what I have to do. The next morning, I called Detective Rodriguez and arranged to meet. No lawyers, no preparation, just a conversation between two people trying to find truth in a mess of lies and manipulation. I want to make a statement, I tell him. Full disclosure, everything that happened, everything I did. You sure about this? You should have a lawyer present. I'm sure. It's time to stop running from consequences. The statement takes 3 hours. I tell him everything. The airport meeting with Claire, the evidence gathering, the website and media campaign, the business dinner confrontation. I admit to conspiracy, harassment, using illegally obtained evidence. Why are you doing this? Rodriguez asks when I finish. Because someone has to take responsibility. Claire won't, Marcus and Rachel can't. I'm the only one left who can stop this from getting worse. This statement could send you to prison. I know, but maybe that's what I deserve. 3 days later, I plead guilty to conspiracy and harassment charges. The prosecutor, surprised by my cooperation, recommends a suspended sentence with community service and restitution. Claire fights the charges with expensive lawyers and delays, but the evidence is overwhelming. She eventually pleads guilty to reduced charges. Marcus and Rachel drop their civil suits in exchange for my cooperation and public apology. They move away from Boston, start over somewhere else, try to rebuild what we destroyed. 6 months later, I'm working at a nonprofit that helps small businesses recover from fraud, doing community service that actually helps people instead of destroying them. It's meaningful work, the kind that builds rather than tears down. I think about Rachel sometimes, wonder if she's happy in her new life. I think about the man I became during our revenge campaign, the way power and validation corrupted my sense of right and wrong. Most of all, I think about the difference between justice and revenge, between exposing wrongdoing and destroying people for personal satisfaction. In the airport lounge that night, Claire offered me a chance to get even. I thought I was choosing justice, but I was really choosing to become the kind of person I once would have despised. The best revenge, it turns out, isn't making your enemies suffer. It's becoming someone better than they are, someone who breaks the cycle of betrayal and cruelty. It took losing everything to learn that lesson, but some lessons are worth the price.